Yep, y'all seen all the mess at the desk. And I still got boxes behind me. Mess at the desk and boxes behind me. Whew, Lord. Humidity. I'm gonna see if anybody come in. If not, we'll have to do it a different day. But and we got a place over here called Salad and Go. All this behind me, I gotta go through, get ready for some furniture that should be coming. And then the desk is getting totally cleaned off. Gotta pack up stuff on it. And then it's probably just go in the room. Let me see who's here. Live chat. Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming back. I started having connection issues in the laundry. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me? Hey, Chicago BBW. Thumbs up, like, share it out. Y'all hear me okay? Thanks for those who came back. Sanitize my hands. Okay, good. I was doing a live earlier and we started having connection issues, so people can catch part two. I know East Coasters, they probably had to go to bed, but I'll tell y'all the rest of what happened. So I'm gonna just start off where I stopped. How y'all doing, by the way? And I'm hot. I just got in the house, so I got to get all this back here. Still got boxes over there and all that. Every day I come in, I'm gonna start getting stuff out of here because I got furniture coming once my friend sells her house. And I got a love seat, sectional, and a recliner. All of them are reclining sofas with the reclining recliner. And I'll need to get everything. So all these boxes, a lot of it is truck. Some of it is truck and stuff, and some of it is just trash. I think there's papers that I threw in bins when I moved, and I need to just go through and make sure there's nothing in there that I need, and then anything else is going to the trash can. And then Linda needs boxes, so I'm going to give her boxes because her sister was living with her, but she's moving, so I'm going to give her those boxes. And then all my stuff, this truck and stuff, will go in the bins. And I'm going to have to store them outside because I don't have a storage unit and I ain't paying for one. So any truck and stuff is going to go out in the back. Later I'll move it. Costco has some industrial size, industrial strength storage bins that will probably be better outside. Later I'm going to get those and just transition them. But for now, whatever plastic bins I have, they're going to go against the fence with a tarp on them. Back to the story. So let me see who's all in here. I got Chicago BBW in here. Okay. So other people will catch up with you later. So as I was saying in the previous one, I was really praying on whether or not to stick with the bus company here. There's 3 different divisions of the bus company. So this was one contracted group that I was in. There's one on the west side, one Central Phoenix, and one all the way to East Valley. The East Valley is the one that pays the most. That's in my home city of Tempe. But their training facility is so far. From my house, it's over an hour drive just to get to their training facility. So unlike buses where if you really want people, you would say, you know what, guys, let's have you all meet us at this local facility here in Tempe, and then we will van you or bus you to that facility. Everybody needs to be here at this time. They're not doing that, at least when I interviewed with them last. They required you to go all the way out there. Well, Old Man Red, my little $500 bucket, I just don't trust that for how many ever weeks long that training is to be getting back and forth there. So for me, I just made the decision that once I got the offer for the one local that was closest to me, that's the one I went with. And I didn't know what was going on with the train. So getting back into it. So not last week, but the Wednesday before last is when I had to go do the pee in the cup. And that Monday before last was when I did the background paperwork or online form that she asked for. We waited, and Wednesday of this week that just passed, is when I got the notification that everything was clear and the class was supposed to start for the train on the 29th, which is Monday. I have been praying, Lord, what direction? Because like I said, I liked a lot of the people that I was dealing with. Hey, brown sugar baby, what's up, baby? I haven't heard from you in a while. You still flatbed mama? I hadn't heard from them in a while. So when she gave me that, I was like praying, Lord, am I supposed to do this or am I supposed to do that? Because I'm really trying to follow his guidance. And that way I know I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. And sometimes you have to go through steps. So sometimes you'll be here, then he moves you here in order to get you. Oh, you went back to drive-in. Okay. In order to get you here. So I realized that I was asking for signs. Well, I was getting glaring signs. There's a lot of them. But the classroom thing this dude did, he, like I said, he did it to this old white man, then he did it to me, and he went extra rare with me. So he's like, well, you didn't give us your paperwork. I said, no, I gave you my paperwork on when I first started this class. Now we're now at this point, we're into week 3. So what the hell you mean? I wouldn't be sitting there because in the packet that they gave us to come into the company, you had to have this paperwork. I gave you my passenger endorsement. If I gave you the passenger endorsement that I took the written test, with that comes the check sheet that's supposed to go to the examiner. What the hell are you talking about? You got them all at once. And I asked them day one because I didn't know they were going to keep it. I said, where's that paper? He says, we keep it for the day of your test. When we send you to do the test at the trucking school, we keep that for the examiner. Okay, I don't have no problem. It's for you. It ain't really for me. And then they give it back to you once you pass. He gonna try to turn it around as if I didn't give him this paperwork. So I didn't take him literally through step by step everything that took place, because he talking to me crazy. Little sister sitting next to me, she hot. Little hood sister, she cool though. She was hot, baby young. Baby was ready to cuss him out. She said this, and I'm gonna say quote unquote, I ain't gonna say exactly what she said. This MF right here. She rocking. She rocking, she's so hot, right? She turns in her chair to me, and I look at her, and I said, girl, this is done. I said, he just helped me with my decision, because he talking so crazy. Because I'm packing up my bag. I'm packing up my backpack. And then all of a sudden, he starts backpedaling, because I'm like, look, if it's time for me to, look, I'll go back, go get in my bed. I got homework to do. I got other crap I can be doing, okay? This brother right here. So, a white guy. This is a white guy. And I don't think it was racial. I just think the guy just has butthole personality. That just in general, butthole personality. Because, like I said, he did something similar to the old white man who was really, really a sweetheart. And I don't know what it's about. I don't know if that's his issue. I don't know. It's your issue, but, talking to people crazy, you need people, you might want to come with it differently, okay? So, at this point, I'm packing up my backpack. Then he's like, well, you didn't give it to me. I said, well, I never made any of this personal. I don't mean you particular. I mean you meaning the company, and I use the company's name. I said, I'm very thorough at what I do. Everything I do is very thorough. I brought you everything in. And I don't know how I've been sitting here for 3 weeks and you didn't have that paperwork, because if you got my permit, you had everything else. I said, and you guys ended up recopying all my paperwork yesterday because it tells me you lost all my stuff. You lost it. I said, so the car I have out there is a point to point. It gets from this point to that point. Okay? That's all. That's what it does. I said, so at this point, you've lost the paperwork, and when I can get there, it's Thursday. Well, Thursday's too late. Like, he wanted me to just get up and go, right? I'm like, oh, no. I said, that's when I will be able to get there. So then, as I'm telling him, I'm like, look, this car I got out here, I said, I made arrangements to do everything that you guys required. I'm not going all the way to commercial DMV. Well, you go, I know. I'm going Thursday. And if that's the problem, I'll pack my bag up. And if I'm out, I'm out. I'm cool with that. We can, look, Shannon can go right now. Shannon did not lose Shannon's stuff. Your company lost it. And so now it's at my inconvenience that I got to go all the way back up here. So then all of a sudden he's like backpedaling. He's like, well, if you would have given it to deuces, dude, stop the BS. Okay. Stop the bull stuff. So then he's backpedaling. He's like, well, we'll have one of the instructors take you up there. So we did the school trip with one of the instructors. He's really good. He was a really, really good. I liked him. And we did the school trip with him. And then he took me to a regular DMV, and they had to get me all the paper. And I said, give me double everything. So then he drops me back at the training facility where we were doing the road range test. So I've missed most of the training for the day. And then I'm also being told we're going to be doing this test on Friday, which nobody told us we were tested on Friday. This gets good. This gets good. So we're supposed to be doing the test on Friday. I didn't know till the morning of this craziness. So I get out there, I do the road range, and didn't have any problem. Boom, 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 boom. Put it in the hole. First 3 times I did it. The first time, second time, because it's a bus. It's smaller than a truck. It's a little different. It's smaller than a truck. I was still turning like I was turning the truck, because you're so used to that, turning for a trailer. Wider turns, watching for the trailer. And I kept doing it. She's like, you're always in the mirror. And I said, I know, I'm looking for the trailer. I know, it's just habit, okay? So at this point, It turned around, and I decided at that point, the little black girl was pissed. I'm gonna tell y'all something, how y'all know as African American, when the pink folk, when they really out of order and they look foul and they make themselves look stupid, okay? When I got back to the training facility after we got the paperwork, there was a brother there, and he was an instructor for the school there, or the training facility where we did the practice. And I was going to do my little drive test to do my practice. When I got on the bus, there was another white guy who was training. And he said, "Miss Shannon, you okay?" This white man. I said, "Yeah." He said, "What so-and-so, the guy in the classroom, did this morning," he said it was wrong. He said it was unprofessional. It was wrong. He should have taken you outside, talked to you. He said, "They lost your stuff." I said, "Yes, they did." He said, "You was a nice lady." And he was so nice, little white man. He's so sweet. He said he was wrong, he was rude, and you a nice lady, and I'm sorry he did that to you. And he got off the bus. When your own race, especially pink folk, say that other pink folk did something wrong, you know you was foul. I'm just going to say that. If pink folk tell you the other pink folk was foul, you know you was foul. So when white folk tell you another white folk did something wrong, you was wrong. I told him, it's okay. Then the little black girl called me. She hot. She cussing. She's like, "Miss Shannon, you was so calm." She said, "I almost said something." She said, "I was so mad." She said, "I almost said something." She said, "I almost went and talked to somebody he had me." He said, "He talking to you like you his dog, his child." And I said, "Baby, I'm 54 years old." I said, "I got this." I said, "I can tell you to F you without ever cussing." I said, "If you know how to use English language and you know how to talk to people, I can tell you to F you 3 times over without ever cussing and look at you like this and smile." And I said, and the way I handle myself, when another white man get on a bus coming off and tell me that some other white man did something wrong, that tell you how foul that other white person was. I said, so I'm going to tell you right now, I'm good. I handle myself appropriately. Then when the other trainer got on, and then he finally tells me, he said, "By the way, we found your paperwork." Did you now? Then he told me, "Oh boy is supposed to apologize to you because I heard he was talking to you crazy this morning." I don't, he ain't got to apologize. He said, "No, he going to apologize. If he apologized, y'all did, and y'all don't know nothing about it." I went to this place. It's called Salad and Go here in Arizona, and I got a wrap. Actually, I got one for lunch tomorrow. I was going to make a sandwich. I'm like, just buy 2 wraps. They $6 each. So this is a Thai wrap, a Thai wrap. So, turn around, and I ain't gonna be here long because I got to get my clothes ready for tomorrow. I got some homework to finish up, and I'm gonna shave my head. Don't really shave it all that much, because it's my first day at the new place. So the little black girl, I said, "Girl, we ain't gotta worry about this." I said, "I'm going to the train." I looked at her, I said, "I'm going to the train." I said, "This right here today, he helped me with my decision. The Lord used him to help me with the decision because I was struggling to either tell the train no and stay here because I did like a lot of the people. And I liked a lot of the energy. I liked a lot of the camaraderie. So like I said, I can't say anything necessarily bad. I do think the management needs to be better. I think the organization needs to be better. I think a lot of their stuff is way behind times. Like they ask you to bring in canceled checks in order to set up your direct deposit. It's been over 20 years. I ain't had to bring no company, not even driving and trucking, a canceled check. You put your routing, your checking account number in, and electronically it goes through. I ain't never had to do that. Matter of fact, I haven't had a paper check except for this company in over 20 years. If I went to different trucking companies, as soon as you set that up, first check was direct deposited. It's electronic. It's immediate. These people, they told them, 3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks? Or 3 to 4 pay periods before you're... That's antiquated. That's old as hell. So a lot of the way they're running is really outdated. They need to modernize. So that, as far as how a lot of their communication, it needs to be more modernized. Even how they're doing their biddings, it could be way better. They need to get some technology in there, and they need to come up to 2022. They still stuck in 1990 and 80 in some of the stuff they're doing. But it is union, and the company I'm going to, the train is union. So, ended up, that was part of it. The other part was physically me. So I rode the bus for a year. I never, ever, years even before that, I never realized that the bus drivers step up into a box. So there's like a square box that almost like a seat from a truck is in, similar, an air ride seat. You have to climb up into this box, sit in this seat, and you're in this little box area, little square area. They have four different types of buses. Two were new. One was the one with the accordion. I call it the accordion. It has that thing. If y'all seen them in your city, it has looks like an accordion. And then they have another bus. Those were the two newest, and the box area was bigger. It was a little better for me. But then the older two buses they had, one of them they called the Gillig. Oh my God! When I got up in that, I was like, "What the hell?" I look I look like the Pillsbury Berries Doughbutt, like you pushed all my fat in different areas, and I'll drop. I'm like, this is not good. And then if you had a handicapped person get on in a wheelchair, I would have to get out of that, go let the ramp down, get the wheelchair person in, hook them in, put the ramp back up, and then climb back in that box. I would have been late on my runs anytime I had somebody who was disabled. I was not going to happen. Because just for me to get out that box on the Gillick, and then they had an one called the New Flyer where the box was even smaller, I was like, oh, hell. So by the time I had done the training one-on-one, I knew everything between him talking crazy to me and them losing my paperwork, the fall, and then the fact that nobody acknowledged even the fall. It was like they didn't even ask me the next day, were you okay? They didn't care. They don't want nothing to do with workman's comp, and they didn't care. I mean, they even basically said people got beat up. They was like, yeah, they incited it. We don't pay workman's comp. You did it. Just I'm like, I never heard of that. I hadn't even mentioned it. Not that I was looking for them to do it, because I was like I said, I didn't want to go through the drama, but I was like, okay. I didn't care. But the behaviors was that. So I gave them the notice. I think they were pissed off. They're like, "Oh, you're not eligible for." Well, I didn't expect to be eligible. I didn't give you a 2 weeks notice. But one of the other girls who left, she said, "Shannon, somebody told me if you were there less than 90 days that you are." I said, "Girl, I'm not worried about these people. At this point, I'm doing what the Lord is showing me, and all the signs have told me." The other issue with it was what I saw. So I've ridden a bus. Kathy, cray cray, I'm not even done yet. While we were out there, girl, I rode the bus and I have never seen what I saw. The drug usage at the bus stops, the intense level of the homeless, the mentally ill, bad. We were watching people with needles at bus stops. They were smoking on foil. They had their crack pipes or whatever the glass pipes out. You could tell they were whacked out at the bus stops. And the thing about the bus is that you can't normally decline people who have a pass. If they're drunk, you're supposed to take them. You can't say no, apparently. And it was some safety issues to me. What you telling me drivers have been beat up, and they had put a door on there on the driver thing, and they said, oh, well, they just put this door in like while we were in training, and it's because of COVID. No, no, no. There's a brown sugar. Thank you. Thank you. And so a lot of friends and family, everybody was praying, we want you to go to the train. So here, let me back up to the conversation at the fair, at the job fair, for the transportation job fair. The first person I talked to was the lady who handled the train. She's a head HR person for the train out here. Okay. And like I said, little sister, little black girl. I figured she was just like a little HR general, but this lady is the head of the whole. I was like, well, and we clicked immediately. I was at the table with her about 20 plus minutes. And even like I said, the favor that God showed me, because I had prayed the day before. I was gonna go. I had gotten a friend of mine had sent it to me that I worked with at university. That sent me the job fair because I was looking to get out of the company I was with, and my employment ended up with the company because I prayed that morning, which was Tuesday morning, right before the job fair. And I was like, Lord, I need to know, am I supposed to stay with this company? Because everything is telling me leave, leave, leave. I need you to show me. And that evening, I was like, oh, okay, Lord. And then the next day, I ended up in the transportation job fair. And from the time I drove in, was shown favor. The company that's in the East Valley, and they had offered me a job before, but I couldn't. I couldn't take it. It was too far away. That company, they actually, that particular company, they were so, they were following me around the job fair. Okay, so, oh y'all, good. It's a frozen strawberry drink. They were following me around the job fair, so I couldn't take them. They were just too far away. And when I got out, talked to the manager guy, and I said, well, I'll apply online, because they were interviewing right then and there, which meant they were offering jobs right then and there. So the lady from the one that I left, she was kind of nasty at the end. Well, they tried to do it nice, but it was kind of nasty. Like, well, I'll tender your resignation today, and you're not eligible for rehire. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Have a good day. Because at the end of what I saw, I mean, even on the last drive I had, we had a Native American guy get on there. He was drunk, and he was messing with one black guy. We thought we were about to have a fight on the bus my last driving day there with them. And I'm like, I don't want to be caught up in this. Whereas the train lady said, you come in, you walk into the back, because on the train, you walk, it's almost like a cockpit for a plane. You walk into this little room, you shut your door, there's a seat in the middle, all the controls are on the left, and the people who deal with the patrons are security. They have a whole security company that comes onto those trains and collects tickets, and they monitor the train. They just walk on and off. And when you have people who homeless or the druggies or whoever get on there, honey, as soon as them security people come on, if they ain't got a pass, they gone. You don't have a lot of drama with the train here in Arizona. And if you're a driver, you're behind a locked door. So you don't even interact with the patrons. Unless somebody come up and shoot up in the front, I got a private room I'm in driving the train. And that was one of the things. So a lot of my friends and family, they were like, Shannon, yeah, dude, I'm not feeling the bus. I'm not feeling the bus. Dog ain't feeling the bus. And so I'm just like, So I saw, like I said, between the fall, between the guy talking to me crazy, between also me getting up in the seat, and they told us they were going to give us the older buses as new drivers. One of the trainers told me, you guys will be driving pretty much the older buses. I'm like, oh, hell. Girl, by the time I got out, my knee was worse than what it was going in there after the fall, because my feet was, I'm like this. It was horrible. I had a little room in the newer ones, but I'm like, this is not going to work. Getting in and out of this thing, girl, I'll be toe up. And anywhere from a 10-hour to what, girl, bye. So I gave the notice Friday, made the decision. I was supposed to go in. I was going to work until the end and then really take kind of the weekend. But I just decided, I woke up Friday morning, I said, shit, and this is done. Especially the last trainer I had, he was really good. I like him. He's actually in videos for the bus company here and he's in general videos all across the country. He's really, really good. And he was so forthright and honest about the job, about the people that get on with mental health issues. I won't go into stories he told me, because he told me some stories I was like, and I started laughing because it was crazy. But I knew he wasn't lying to me, because I saw enough for myself. But, I sat there, and I'm 54. I ain't gonna sit here and play like I'm biggest, baddest. Back in the day, yeah, I put my dukes up and fight with the best of them. But I'm 54 years old. I don't want to be rolling around fighting up in no bus, trying to defend myself. We had one where we picked up a guy who broke up a fight that was on the bus. We had to take him down to Washington to go to police station because he lost his wallet trying to help the bus driver break up a fight. Some Mexican dudes got on, apparently beat up a little black boy, blood and stuff on the bus. They had to take the bus back to the terminal for bio cleanup. Yeah, dog. I was like, this signs. There's no signs everywhere. Honey, the signs were screaming, this is not it. So when I got the final for the train, and I also went in, so when I went to go do the urine test, I had to go down to the facility, which isn't far from me at all. A little further than where the bus station is, but maybe about 5-10 more minutes away, not that far. Thank you. and hold on, let me tell you, they pay $17.42 an hour. I'm gonna tell you that's what it was. Okay, you can make good money. The bus drivers, the ones who doing that, there's some clearing 140,000 a year with the overtime and your union. So within, I think, 3 years or three to 5 years, something like that, you're at $30 some an hour. So the money's good, but you get more money at the train. The train pays me a lot more money. They have security. You're at $35 an hour after 3 to 5 years. Their union as well. I'm good. So I start with them Monday. Their hiring process was a lot longer, which also says a lot to me. That also talks about quality too, because you're looking at people. Because there was another situation we had one. So we talking about the patrons, but let me talk about who they was hiring. So one of the girls came up in the room they hired. I think she must have been on drugs or something. She was weird. But one of the ladies, she had to stay behind, and one of the older ladies who didn't stay either. And she said the girl started talking crazy to people. She said she had busted out windows on the bus. She come up in there and blah, blah, blah that place up because they don't know who she is. I'm like, oh my God. And this is a person who was going to work for the bus company. I'm like, I can't. So that also is a screening process issue. So at this point, I'm like, you know, and again, I don't think it's bad. I think, and I would tell people right now, it's a good job. You just need to know you're going to have to work the system to your advantage, and you're going to also have to be someone who probably can defend yourself if necessary. You're going to have to know how to interact with people, and getting in and out that box. I'm going to say if you're overweight, it may be, unless you're in really good shape, overweight. I'm too severely overweight right now for that, and I'm not in the shape I was. Then getting in and out that box, especially if you put you in older buses, is going to be a challenge. And then you have to get in and out for the people who are disabled. With the train, I don't have to do that. They ride a little scooter or whatever, or wheelchair on the train, and then they lift the seats up and they have to hold on or whatever. I don't have to deal with none of that. I just drive a train. It's just like reefer. It's the difference when we're driving the reefers, refrigerated trucks. That was the difference between dry van and reefer. That's why I went reefer. I ain't got to get back there no more and sweep out them trailers in 110-degree weather. I simply drive it to a wash and they wash it out. Here's a check from the company. We're done. To me, that's the train. The train is just drive and get it there. I ain't got to fingerprint people. I ain't got to really even interact with people. I just got to drive the train. And then the head of safety met me for my drug screening. He was a really nice guy. And then I got down to go. He took me down to where their break room is. So I got to interact with some of the drivers of the train. That was really a good experience. The dispatch people came out. They were cool as hell. And I could just tell it was a different quality of people. I'm not knocking the bus people. They were very nice. But I could tell there was a different quality of employee. It's kind of like the difference between Walmart and Target. That's all I can tell you. Walmart and Target. So, but again, I won't knock it. I would tell anybody, I think it's a great company to go to. You can make good money. You just have to decide whether or not you are okay with taking the necessary risk. For me, I was not. And then you got to put up with, if he's still in charge, a boy he got butthole tendencies. I don't know, you need to talk to somebody. Right. And I asked God to show me. And I mean, like my friend said, he said, Shannon, you asked him to show you and you got so many signs. It wasn't even funny. He said, between the fall, the dude talking to you crazy, between the seats you had talked about in the first place. When we first went out, we got to see all the drug stuff. And I was like, I did not know the drug epidemic was that hard. What really is bothering me is the blatancy of it. Like, used to be drug people would just hide it, but they sitting in open bus stops, just doing their drugs right there. I'm like, what the hell? Where are the cops? And the cops will drive by like ain't no big deal. I don't know, and this is what I'm wondering, if the legalization of marijuana has made it like, screw it, oh well. And the thing was, they camping out at the bus stops. So here's my other problem. The solution that the bus company has is, in order to get them from camping at the bus stops and sleeping there, they just cut the benches out. So then you got the patrons who really need it that have to stand out here in Arizona heat and just stand there waiting for a bus. Why is that fair? You need to have security or work with the police department to clean that crap out. and get them drug users out of there. It doesn't make sense. And the homeless, God forbid, and therefore for the grace of God go I. But unfortunately, there's people who ride the bus who can ride the bus. It's not your house. It's not a house. Unfortunately, that's not a living facility. So you can't camp out there. And people who trying to get to work and feed their families who use their transportation, it's deplorable. And so the solution is we rip out the seats that the regular patrons may need to sit and wait for the bus. You got old people who get into appointments. It's deplorable. And so I got to see and understand a part of it. Public transportation, it's a job where you can be in your bed all night, every night. Like I said, you can make good money. You go into that bus lot facility and see what the drivers, and I'm not a person who's about cars. I know some people get cars for prestige, but you can tell they flossing and they rolling, and one of the dudes who trained me, he rolled up in his Benz. And he had an F-150 they were working on, and I guess he had left it in the lot for was somebody to come and work on it, and then he came the next day and met me, rolled up in his Mercedes. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. Again, he's making 30 some dollars an hour, and he works 12-hour days. So he's getting overtime. And when you say 12 hours, you just got to be there for 12 hours. He might only be working 8 hours and get paid for 12. It just really depends. So it is, that's overtime. So you get paid good money. Tomorrow we'll see everything. I got homework to do here, so I'm gonna get off here in a minute. But the next one is a train. Give me my 90 days and I'll go over that. I do think the train is a safer option. Again, I've been wanting to do the train since it came to Arizona. I ain't gonna lie. When I first rode it, I was like, I thought like this be a cool job. And they just go in their little door and they go. And the other thing, the difference too, you ain't got to memorize no routes. I ain't got to remember routes. I ain't got to worry about where I'm turning. The train rides its tracks. They're also doing expansion. And here in Arizona, they just got a $16.3 million grant to do some things. So everything's okay. I'm cool with it. Oh, I did find out something else. I typed it to Nikki. Next time I'll talk about it. There is a company, I don't know where they're based out of, but I met one of the contractual drivers. So they're so struggling with that bus company for drivers that one of the contract drivers, thank you, Brown Sugar. One of the contract drivers, they contract truck drivers as well as bus drivers. It could be anything from helping local bus companies to coach, like, what do you call them? Tourist companies to to truck driving companies with drivers, and they basically contract the drivers. The driver gets per diem and gets paid, and they go help out these companies, and the company puts them up in a hotel. They could be there for 3, 4, 5 months, almost like a traveling nurse. So they're like traveling CDL holders. I didn't know this existed. Had I known when I first started, child, I would have hooked up with that and been all around the country. You could stay part of the country for 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. The brother I met, he was from New York. He said he stayed in Atlanta for like 3 months. He just got back from California to help us. They put him up in a hotel out here. They get him a car, and they give him per diem. And I think he's making like 20 some dollars an hour. And that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. It was really nice. His brother named Leon, totally cool. But and I forgot the name of the company. Once I look it up, I sent it to Nikki. Let me Brown Sugar hit. What's my email? I didn't put the email on there. I'll post it. I'll post the name of the company in the community board. So just look on the community board. I got to look it up from a text that I sent Nikki because I don't know. It's national something. And he said he got on with them. He's from New York, but they got people from here. They had like over 13 of them, and they contract on, and then they send you around the country. I know he's working bus, so I don't know if it requires you to have the bus endorsement, but I know he also was a Class A like me. And I think they even do truck driving companies. I'll put the name of the company. He told me I only got the name of the company. And they contract out to different transportation companies, from buses to trucking. and they help them, and then they'll bring drivers in to help them out if they short manned. I had never heard of it until I met this brother, and he was actually the one driving when I fell. He hit the brakes kind of hard, and I went, and I did the fluffy grandma fall. It was a beach whale fall. It was not good. But yeah, I'll put it on there and you can see it. But I didn't know about it either. I don't want to be back over the road now, and I've been to almost every state. If I end up where I'm traveling, I want to travel for enjoyment and relaxation. I want a camper. I want a travel trailer. I really would like, if I was thin enough, I'd want an Airstream. And I want the Airstream trailer. And that's, look, I could probably even live in an Airstream trailer. And I want a truck. And I just want to travel. I want to get me a couple, like I said, a Cocker Spaniel, a Min Pin, or maybe 3 dogs, 2 Cocker Spaniels and a Min Pin. And we just travel, get me some fishing poles, some cameras, have me a couple of pistols on there in case folk want to act crazy. And I'm not doing hunting, but you know, you want to act crazy, I want to be able to defend myself. You can't carry pistols on, you're not supposed to carry them on a truck, you're not supposed to carry them on a bus. But you know what I'm trying to say. You want to be able to defend yourself if folk get to acting crazy. But yeah, I don't want to travel in trucking anymore. I want to be in my bed at night, and I don't, you know, and yeah, it'd be cool, I think, stay in a hotel, but I don't even want to do that kind of travel right now. I like coming home, and I'm not a major family person, but I have like what I consider my family, you know, a few friends. So I hang with Joe, I hang with Linda. These are my homies here, and those are the people I interact with. And that's who I like to hang with. They all took me out. Was that Friday? Friday night. They all took me out to celebrate because they all were so happy I wasn't with the bus anymore. Especially, all of them were scared from the beginning, especially when I told them what I was seeing with the drug usage and the stories about the bus drivers getting assaulted. Everybody was like, And when I sent the notice and got the response back, I shared that, and one of them said, well, some bridges are okay to burn. And the other person, and my friend said, she blew that damn thing up. And he said that I'm happy because Joe did not want me. None of them wanted me doing it. They all were concerned. My best friend was like, her husband are in Florida, and she like, Shannon, that's the one who said, you need to read this. And everybody was, and I was like, well, I just want to do where the Lord has directed me. And I didn't know if it was a bus. Like I said, the people there I love. I will give them this. They have a very good camaraderie. They're very, there's a bond there, that transportation, brotherhood, sisterhood, very evident there. But like I said, for me, it was safety. And then the signs where the man talking crazy was like, God is saying, no, this ain't it. And everything came in. Like I said, it took the train about a month to process everything. And like I said, so Monday is D-Day. So like I said, I'm going to get off of here. I got to iron up my clothes for tomorrow. One of the pluses is that the uniform that they're asking us to wear during their training is almost the same. I just had to get the shirts for the bus were white. The shirts for this company are any shade of blue. And that's just temporary. So that's just during training. And then once you get to probably whatever the stage is to complete the training, at that point, you'll move into where they'll order a uniform. So here's the irony. The guy who does the uniforms for the bus is also the guy who does them for the train. So he going to see my fluffy butt again. And so prayerfully, he didn't start doing my uniform for the bus because I didn't complete everything. But God is good. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And y'all just be praying because I'm sure there's testing. I just got to pass whatever the tests are. So, and the train does not require you to have a CDL. So you do not have to have a CDL to do the train. You don't have to have a CDL. That's one of the things she said. She said, you don't need a CDL to drive the train. She said, all your controls are over on the left and you drive the train. And then the safety guy is like, well, he's trying to tell me, well, I don't know if they told you. You're probably going to end up because you're going to be low on the totem pole getting the holidays. I like holiday money. That's double time and a half. I was like, sir, let me explain to you. I was in the refrigerator because he tried to tell me, most your shift's going to be nights. I'm not a morning person. So everything he told me worked. I am not a morning person. These folks had me getting up at one time, 12:45 to meet one man, 2:45 in the morning. I was like, frick. The next one I had to get up at, it wasn't even maybe an hour. I got maybe an hour extra sleep. I was so exhausted. I almost slept half a day on Friday. I was so tired. I didn't know what to do. My body was done. schizophrenic scheduling. Um, I couldn't. And I'm a night person. So I was like, this, I understand a lot. Like I said, I know what the bus company would need to do to get drivers. One, they need to have twofold training. They need to have a training that's solid across the board. And then they need to find out where people are as far as their scheduling. Like, are you a morning person, night person? And they need to have trainers at this time and trainers at this time. And then they need to schedule with those people. That way you can roll into the type of shifts you want. Like I said, a lot of what they're doing is very old school, so they're struggling. And the new generation is not, they're different. They just don't, they're different. That's all I'm going to say. They're different. Work ethic is not there for the most part. And they only going to tolerate so much. They not their mama and daddy. They will tell you to F yourselves, and they don't care. But the train is safer. It was safer. And when I sat down between family and friends and we talked, it was like, Shannon, you need to go on and do this. And so I called Friday morning, let them know I wasn't going to meet with the trainer I was supposed to meet with. And then I typed up the resignation notice. And like I said, she came back. I'm like, well, I wasn't expecting a rehire. And it's okay, because I didn't, A, I was still in the 90-day phase. And B, the same way to me, my attitude is in that 90 days, not only is the company analyzing you, but you're analyzing the company and you're analyzing the job. Is this a fit? Safety-wise, it was not a fit. Physical-wise, there were aspects of it that weren't a fit for me. So I had to make my decision. That was what was best for me. It wasn't anything offensive. The only person, like I said, I had an issue with was the guy who was talking to me crazy, and I was the only one he did it to. The guy just has butthole tendencies that they need to address. And unfortunately, you will lose good people. That man that left out of there had over 30 years of experience, plus busing experience. And I can almost guarantee you dollars to donuts, I highly doubt it had anything to do with his mama. I think it had to do with him being talked to like he was a dog. And, that was one of my reasons. But there were other caveats to mine. But that was really the nail for me, with him talking to me crazy. And then the safety issues. Those were the two big ones for me. And I was like, no. What I experienced when I went to the train was a very different interaction with even the management. Even the HR lady, it was just a much more professional vibe. And I'm good with that. Anyway, once I'm in the 90 days, I'll give y'all more details. I will say the bus pays weekly. That was one thing. Like I said, you can make a lot of money. And will I say don't try for it? Hell no. It's good money. It's union. Like I said, you'll have to put up with, you're going to deal with some crazy folks. You're going to deal with drug users. And it was at least here, it was so. And like I said, I've ridden the bus and I didn't. We had one lady at one stop when I was working for night that she would sleep there, but she was just peaceful. And I didn't really bother her, but she stretch out and sleep on, and I'd walk out there and she'd be sleeping on the bus stop. That, unfortunately, that needs to be addressed. You're taking up the whole bus stop where patrons need to sit and wait for the bus. That's one issue. But the bus stops, like I said, when we were in there, they'd be up there and it was just drug users sitting on the ground, sitting on the bench, smoking weed and whatever else they were smoking, stuff on foil. And I guess this fentanyl is something new. I had never heard of fentanyl. And then I'm being told a lot about fentanyl. Look, I done learned a lot about drugs and I ain't never been a drug user. I just haven't. Anyway, y'all, let me read and see if y'all got any other comments. I got Brown Sugar, Kathy, Miss Chicago, BBW. So I'll check in. I'll try to check in next Sunday, Saturday or Sunday coming up, and just let y'all know how week 1 went. I don't know if they're weekly pay. I think they are, which I'm hoping they are. So there'll be a delay in the pay. I'm getting my backpack ready for in the morning. I'm getting the clothes ready, and then I got homework to do, getting a shower, and then get to bed because I got to be up. I'm going to be up at 4. 4, 5, 6. I'm not supposed to be there till 7, but I like to get out of here with Old Man Red. I want to be out of here by 5:30 so I can be there by 6. It's off the freeway, but because Old Man Red, his turn signals ain't working, I'm going to take the streets because the windows in the front don't roll down, so I can't do the little hand signals either. So I'll take the straight, and it's only... I'll probably take Osborne over, drop down to one of the streets, and then it's one major street that I could just take the whole way down to to where they're at because they're on 48th Street in one of the areas. So I'm going to go down there and then, yeah, we'll just get everything. But I'm getting all my paperwork together. I'm going to have the backpack together, put my water in the freezer so I can freeze my waters. I got me a wrap that I'm having for tonight, but I got one for tomorrow. It's a Thai wrap, and it just has a dressing on it. It's like lettuce and a wrap. You get it from tofu or chicken, whichever one you want in there. But I got a vegetarian wrap. So I've been eating more vegetables, even though I just don't know. My stomach's been kind of, so I've been eating different, a little different. And Linda said, Shannon, you've lost some weight. And I was like, I think I have, but it's not anything. Just I think the two bulges, they're funky, so sometimes stuff is good. Anyway, I'll Brown Sugar, give me a little bit. I'll post on the community board the name of that company. And I'll post that on there. But yeah, if you guys are looking for, you want to be in your home, in your bed every night, look at your local transportation. I can't, like I said, I can't knock it. I'm telling you what God directed me. Could I have done the bus job? Absolutely. Actually, one of the trainers, she reached out to me. She said, did you resign? I said, yes. She said, I really liked you and you were a good driver. I know, and I'm not trying to be arrogant. I know I'm a good driver. I have no accident incidents, 6 years with a truck. And if I handled a vehicle that large, then handling a bus is not going to be that big of a deal. But the issue that, like I said, it's more safety based on why I made the decision for the train that I felt led of the Lord to do, and all the signs that were just saying no, 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 no. And my friend JoJo was like, girl, everything he was telling me was like, okay, Shannon, are you? I said, yeah, but I needed income until I really had the decision, and I believe right up until the last minute. So I didn't really find out. Everything was a go till Wednesday of this week. And I was also taking the time to see, Lord, what are you directing me? And by the time we got done with the bus trip on Thursday, where we had the people that almost, the Native American junk dude who almost got in a fight with the black guy who would have knocked him out, I was like, I don't think this is for me. Yeah, this is it. So I made the decision and put the notice in. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. Peace.